Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman, and I'm missing my little buddy Trent Hoffman, but this is Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 34. Today we're going to be talking about some of the recent Star Wars news. Like I said, Big T's here, but Little T is off for the night. We're just trying to get the schedules kind of lined up, and so big thing this week has been both Ellie and Trent have started school, so they're just getting into used to e-learning and getting all kind of acclimated with their new classmates and just trying to figure out this whole thing online. So they're doing great. Everything's going well, but just trying to get onto a consistent schedule, and we're just trying to line everything up. But there's so much Star Wars news going on the last couple of weeks that just want to kind of talk about it a little bit. And there's some news that just dropped today, so want to kind of walk through that a little bit. But just a little catch up. We just started Twitch as well. So if you're into gaming and Twitch, you can follow us at Big T Little T, or it's twitch.tv Big T Little T. And so I think the game that we're going to start really kind of focusing on, it's coming out this recording. It's coming out this Friday, and that's Tony Hawk 1 and 2. So I actually didn't get into Tony Hawk till probably 3. I wasn't on the PlayStation kick. I actually skipped that, and I got a GameCube. So Tony Hawk 3 is the first one I played on the GameCube, and been hooked ever since. And so I'm very interested to see how this works for 1 and 2. Obviously I played that on PlayStation, but very interested to see how they remade it, and kind of cool to see it on more of a modern console. So Trent's we played a couple times on the GameCube, so very excited for that. So we'll be playing that and streaming that on Twitch. So that's coming out very soon. Trent and I watched SummerSlam, which was just a couple weeks ago. A little wrestling on WSTR. If you didn't check it out, episode 184, we had STF Underground on. We talked a little wrestling and Star Wars, so definitely check that out. That's episode 184, and we kind of talked about SummerSlam, so it was a pretty stacked card. It happened. When was that? Just August 21st, I think, or something around there. It was a couple Sundays ago. Actually, it was August 23rd, and it was in Orlando. And what's interesting is, obviously, with this whole pandemic going on, it's been kind of crazy. So they've done a lot of their pay-per-views and all their wrestling shows at the Performance Center, and so that's where they do all the practicing and all that kind of stuff. And so they actually moved it to one of the stadiums in Florida, and so they went to the Amway Center, which is a large venue also located in Orlando, and it's the first WWE event outside of the Performance Center since March. And so right before everything hit, they were supposed to do the big WrestleMania in Florida, and to the last second, but then they moved everything to the Performance Center, and so they did this really cool thing, a virtual fan experience, which is they dubbed it the Thunderdome, and they put literally all these LED screens, about 1,000 LED boards in the stadium, and so they had people streamed in watching it live, and so you got to see some of the fan reaction. So a pretty cool technology thing. So they spared no expense and did all the pyro and the smoke and all that stuff and lasers and all that kind of crazy stuff, but they really, from a production perspective, it's pretty impressive that they were able to kind of pull that off. Again, pretty stacked card. Just run through it real quick. Bailey and Ahsoka and not Ahsoka, Asuka, so Bailey won. She retained the women's title. Streets of Profit defended the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions against Andrea and Angel. Pretty cool. That was a cool match. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville fought, and it was like one of those things like I quit match, and so Mandy Rose won that, which was interesting. Another cool match was Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio, and so Dominic, the storyline behind here is Dominic is the son of Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is a famous luchador and pretty staple on the roster for quite some time. And so this was Dominic's first match as a WWE wrestler. But in the end, Rollins prevailed. And so, did a stomp on Dominic and won. Sasha Banks, defended the Raw's Women's Champion against, Asuka. So this is like, they did it twice, so the storyline was kind of going back and forth, and actually, Asuka won, so thus winning the title for the second time, which was kind of cool. Main event was pretty cool, I would say. Braun Strowman defending the Universal Championship against the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. I'm not really a big fan of Bray Wyatt's new character. It's kind of scary, not really kid-friendly, so it's kind of hard to watch with the kids and stuff like that. So Trent and I did not watch this match, but basically what happened was Strowman and Wyatt were fighting, and then pulled down his sister Abigail and Strowman, but Roman Reigns basically appeared, and so this is his first appearance. The reason that's a big thing is that it was his first appearance in 5 months, and so speared the Fiend, basically took out Strowman as well, attacked him with multiple chair shots, and Reigns basically returned to the ring, executed a spear on the Fiend before basically the hoisting the Universal Championship belt. So that was a big surprise. He's got some health concerns, and so especially with COVID and everything going on, he basically kind of stepped away from a bit, and so he showed up, and so of course WWE milking the location and just trying to do that. They basically had a pay-per-view last Sunday on what was that, the 30th, and so the main event for that was Roman Reigns against was actually a triple threat match. I mean, obviously Reigns, Strowman, and the Fiend going after it, and Reigns never really showed up for the whole match. Strowman and Wyatt went at it. This basically, I only seen it once before in wrestling, but they went for a superplex off the thing, and once they hit, the ring exploded. The only time I've seen that before was with the Big Show and Brock Lesnar, and so pretty eventful. And then obviously that's when Reigns showed up. The twist here is that Reigns is now tied with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's more of a, I would say, like a evil henchman manager, and so there's pretty interesting that Roman's kind of going from the kayfabe to more of a heel. So interesting that dynamic. But basically Roman did his thing, speared both of the guys, and basically got the win. So now he's got the strap now. So pretty interesting stuff. I'm interested, again, really fascinated by the technology perspective and seeing what's going to happen with this Thunderdome. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. If you're in wrestling, definitely check those out on the network and everything like that. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, so movies that Trent and I, we just watched Godzilla, King of Monsters. I'd never seen it. And so that was pretty awesome. visually and music wise, I thought it was really good. That story is a little whatever, but it's a monster movie. I thought it was pretty well done. Godzilla's awesome, and obviously, I'll keep it spoiler free. But basically, it was fun. It was really cool, kind of seeing all the different monsters in a more of a modern setting. So yeah, there you go. So pretty cool stuff there. Really sad news last week. Kind of shocked everybody, but Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther, passed away from cancer at age of 43. Obviously, celebrity deaths, it can go either way. Sometimes you don't have that personal connection, but, some hit harder than others. And this one was very shocking, especially the age he is. I mean, I'm turning 45, so it just kind of sets a little reality into it, and it's just crazy. Very sad, very it's just a shame, because it also speaks a lot to his character, as far as just even when he was sick, he was still doing his best and doing what he loved to do, his craft and everything like that. And so now when so the family and I Jen's never seen Black Panther. She knew about him, but like not terribly. So we just finished watching Black Panther actually tonight, and it's sad, man. And so now it's just one of those things. Now when you see him, and obviously his presence not only in the Marvel movies, but I mean, he's made quite a few good movies his last couple of years, and it just shows again that what an outstanding guy. And I hope his legacy lives on, and that people find inspiration from him. And also, I think the other thing you could do is get screened. Cancer is horrible, and if it runs in your family, get screened often, and just take care of yourself, and not let symptoms kind of go unchecked. So yeah, there you go. All right, on to some Star Wars news. Man, it's been crazy. So this last week would have been Star Wars Celebration 2020, and no, it didn't happen. So it is going to be rescheduled. If you're living on a rock and you didn't know what Star Wars Celebration is, I mean, come on. It is like the coolest thing to do. So if you've never been, well, now's your chance to not to hide on a rock, and so it is going to be 2022. So they even skipped 2021, but it's going to be August 18th through the 21st in 2022. So hopefully, 2 years from now, hopefully we're back to somewhat of a normal thing. But yeah, it is pretty impressive. So here's a really interesting thing, is that a lot of the like Funko and Hasbro started hinting about like, hey, we're going to do some stuff for the 40th anniversary, because it is the 40th anniversary of the best movie ever, Empire Strikes Back. And so they were going to release some merch, very cool stuff. I actually picked up a Funko Ralph McQuarrie Chewbacca, and one of the things that was basically left over. I'm like, all right, well, I'll pick this up. But the Star Wars Celebration over the weekend launched their store, so that opened up, I believe it was Friday the 28th, and then it went to the general public on the 31st. So if you're listening to this, man, get on there, check some stuff. There was some really cool stuff there. So if you're interested in that, yeah. So there's a lot of merch. Obviously, they printed a lot of merch for the celebration, but with everything going on, now they kind of released that as well. Target and Galaxy's Edge have teamed up, and so not a lot of people are going to Galaxy's Edge, and so Target already has the Disney stores in them, and so it made a pretty good idea that they're releasing some of the merchandising to Galaxy's Edge. I believe that dropped Saturday or something like that. Yeah, and we went to Target on Sunday, checked, for school stuff, but checked out the toy aisle, got to, and everything was gone. I mean, there was a display, but that was pretty much it. So, yeah, if you're lucky, there's some cool stuff. I believe there's the Black Series. The one figure that is exclusive, I think, is the Hondo Ohnaka. So he's kind of got like a turtle helmet, but pretty cool. Any of the Black Series stuff is, I think, is pretty cool. So yeah, a couple exclusives there. It's if you're into that stuff, into merch, some cool stuff there. But yeah, they're trying to push a little bit of the Galaxy's Edge stuff. There is a Lego one that I'm pretty interested in. I think it's a Corvette that I might be picking up. So there you go. We've been waiting for that Mandalorian trailer, but there was 2 other trailers that dropped. So I just want to kind of go through them real quick. The first one is the new Lego game. This is the new Lego Star Wars game, and it's called Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Really, this is all 9 movies. This is going to be very cool. Why don't we play the trailer right now?
I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
The Force is unusually strong with him. That much is clear. Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker has become.
Happily, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
That boy is our last hope. No, there is another.
I'm from the Resistance. Your sister Leia sent me. We need your help.
The Force will be with you always.
Punch him! Not him, the Falcon.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me. So be it, Jedi.
Dude. So good. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the Lego games, there's just a great mix of humor and just a little cheekiness, which makes Star Wars great. And especially the last bit, they show Luke fighting the Emperor, and he pulls out Lego lightning instead of the real lightning. And yeah, so he tries to throw it at Luke, but then kicks in with the regular lightning. So that is the music from the Rise of Skywalker trailer, the final trailer. Very cool. I mean, again, they do a beautiful job of kind of highlighting some of the, basically all the movies, and you kind of get a good feel of what it looks like. I mean, the gameplay looks great. Obviously, they have re-enhanced all the levels or redone all the levels, so we're gonna get some good stuff. But there's some great humor there. I mean, they show Rey lighting the lightsaber at the Skywalker. home and or the Lars homestead, and there's Jawas in the background that scamper away when Leia pulls out from the frigate in the Force Awakens, where they meet on Togodana. She has her bun hairpiece on, and then switches to her new hairstyle, and you could see in the back there's C-3PO with like a Lego paintbrush that's red, because now he has a red arm. I mean, there's just some cool stuff, like when they're showing the message of Princess Leia to Luke, and R2's projecting, classic scene in New Hope. Also in the Lars homestead, there's C-3PO with like a hairnet on in the back taking a bath. So, I mean, that's just some of the cute humor. When Rey tries to hand over the lightsaber on Octo, and you can see the back of Luke's cloak when he turns around. It's two porgs standing on him, and and then Luke comes like and then tries to grab his cloak. So there's just a lot of cool little humor. Again, here's COVID stepping on us. There wasn't a lot of news or any gameplay footage, and so we knew that we were going to get this trailer, but then they slipped. And so instead of October of 2020, this is coming out in the spring of 2021. Obviously, there's exclusives. There's one exclusive. The case has where you can take off the case and it reveals Darth Vader. There's exclusive Luke drinking a blue milk figure, and so there's some cool stuff there. Probably going to pick this up digitally, but the exclusives are out there if you want to get them. But yeah, that's coming out from Telltale Games, Warner Brothers, Lucasfilms. Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, love the Lego games. If you haven't heard it before, that's kind of our inspiration for Big T Little T. Is that one of the first games that Trent and I played was the Hobbit game, and so he was just interested because I'm a gamer, love playing games, and so I showed him that. And the Telltale logo is a big T and a little T, and so every time that came on, I just kind of said, "Hey, buddy, that's us. We're Big T and Little T," and so that's kind of stuck, and that's kind of inspiration behind this podcast and the naming of the podcast. So yeah, Lego holds a special place in our heart. So very excited for Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, but not happy with that release date. Oh well. I mean, nothing you can do. It is what it is. Okay, that's not the only trailer we saw. Another trailer that dropped on August 27th, a couple days ago, is the Star Wars Squadrons. This is called Star Wars Squadrons Official Single Player Preview. So let's punch it.
We all choose our path. Light or dark. Freedom or destruction. The Empire chose to destroy Alderaan in order to spread fear and douse the fires of rebellion. But the heroic pilots of the Rebel Alliance have chosen to keep fighting, to show the Empire that we are not afraid. It was their bravery that ended Palpatine's reign and brought about our new republic. However, the Empire lives on, shattered though it may be. As I speak, Imperial forces are edging toward the Bormir sector, hoping to end our new republic before we find our footing. As their empire collapses, they try to tighten their grip. But the galaxy is changing, and you can be a part of it. With the help of brave and daring pilots, this war can end. Make a choice. Fly with the new republic. Change our galaxy for the better.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Hunka, narrative producer on Star Wars Squadrons. Our single-player story is one of daring pilots and deep-seated rivalries.
Take Titan Squadron. Hunt down this Starhawk and eliminate it.
Gladly, Admiral Slane. Over the course of the story, you'll fly as two pilots on opposite sides of the war. And, like all modes in Star Wars Squadrons, you'll have the option to experience every mission fully immersed in VR.
Wedge Antilles, Rogue Squadron. I hear you're the reason I was able to finally get a con through.
Today, we're giving you a glimpse of an early Imperial mission behind enemy lines.
One of our spies, Agent Thorne, has discovered vital intelligence on Project Starhawk. Your mission is to extract her from an orbital outpost above Hosnian Prime. Behind enemy lines, you'll have to eliminate perimeter defenses. The outpost is defenseless. When you've secured the area, you will escort the Gladius to the outpost, and our extraction team will acquire Agent Thorne. Once Thorne is secure, reach your Gozanti cruisers and return to the Overseer.
Cover our escape and escort us to the jump point. We have Republic corvettes inbound. Move, Titan!
Ladies, change course and keep Agent Thorne safe. Titan 3, take out those fighters.
Understood. I'll handle it.
You have my thanks, Titan Squadron.
No time to celebrate. Move on.
Go, go, go!
Each mission will immerse you into the escalating conflict between the New Republic and a shattered empire. Debrief with your squad mates between missions.
You're our new wingmate.
Customize and master all 8 starfighters and join the galaxy's finest.
I need you focused and ready to go.
From bombing runs at the Nadiri dockyards to setting a trap in the Xavian abyss, the story of these rival squadrons will push the war to the brink and define the galaxy for years to come. I look forward to seeing you in combat October 2nd.
All right, there you go. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty straightforward trailer. Interesting. You get to play the two sides, and they kind of just lay it out what you're gonna do. Some cool cameos. We got Admiral Sloan, which is a kind of a not so, I would say prominent character, but somebody that's been in the books and the novels and getting a little exposure here. So I think that's very cool that they're tying her in. Got to see a Lobot kind of guy with a little android thing going on. So that's interesting that we got more of that. So that's kind of cool. The big thing, Hera as more of a, not a cartoony Twi'lek, but more of a modern day Hera. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I hope that equal parts, you get to play both Imperial and the Rebels. So I'm interested in this. It could be cool. I love a little bit more expansion in that fragmented empire, and it could definitely be fun to check that out. Yeah, and that launches 10/2/20. So I played X-Wing, Flight Simulator way back in the day, and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter is probably one of my favorite games. It's just, I hope it's a little bit different and than the Battlefront. Battlefront 2 is a little bit more arcadey. It's okay. I probably played that the least in Battlefront 2. I just didn't find interest in this, but this looks like it's going back a little bit to kind of the X-Wing with you have to manage your shields and your engines and, just managing power and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more strategic and definitely get the more of a flight simulator feel and not so arcadey. So should be cool. Definitely gonna check it out. That's definitely a must-have for us. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. So yeah, that comes out 10/2/20. So that is not delayed. Thank you. Okay, another big news. Geez, Star Wars: The High Republic. Okay, the StarWars.com now has an official section of the High Republic. That's kind of the big thing. If you're not familiar, this is what the front of the webpage says: is an all-new era of the glorious High Republic. The noble and wise Jedi Knights must face a frightening threat to themselves, the galaxy, and the Force itself. Star Wars: The High Republic launches January 2021 with original stories spanning a variety of books, comics, and beyond. The big news here is that there was an article It's inside the Star Wars: The High Republic, Meet the Jedi Knights and Masters Part 2. And so there is some concepts. This is from July 23rd. Okay. All right, here we go. The big news here. This drops September 1st in Star Wars: The High Republic, Meet Yoda. So we got a cool little illustration of Yoda, a little less wrinkles. If you guys are surprised that Yoda's in here, you got to check the match. He basically says, hey, I'm 9 years old, and for pretty much 800 of those years, he's trained Jedi. So this falls kind of right in line with where he is. He's got to be it. I mean, they kind of have some anchor, so I wasn't really surprised that when they originally announced it, they didn't mention anything about Yoda, but it was kind of a given that Yoda would be in it. So there's a couple pictures. There's one with a lightsaber and he's got a robe. Another one with his cane. Pretty cool design. Really like it. It looks great. Just trying to kind of figure out. I won't go into too much details, but just realizing that this is a new time period. So I'm hoping that we get to see a little bit more. I said this before on WSTR, but my problem with the books is that it's just, if I'm being honest, most of it you can do in a cliff note and just say, okay, 2 or 3 sentences about these books. I hate to say that about a lot of these authors are spending so much time and developing, and I get that, and it's like, I haven't wrote a book. I understand it. It's hard. You're developing characters. You're working in these kind of constraints about the timeline and who's interacting with who. But I feel like with the new canon, it's not pushing anything forward. There's a couple things that you could pick out that, oh, these are awesome, or this ties into that one. Great. But there is really nothing that really pushes anything. There's a couple exceptions to that. If you haven't read or haven't listened to Dr. Aphra, such a great audio play. Dooku Jedi Lost is another audio play that's fantastic. There is a couple books that are out there, but I'm hoping, because we got the High Republic, that they're really going to push it. We get to see a little bit more behind the scenes as this leads into a kind of formates. We get to see how the Jedi Republic, the Republic that we see in the Phantom Menace is kind of formed. It'd be really cool to see what it was like before, and I'm hoping, we just get to see a story that's more fleshed out, better written, and just a lot more. I hope they push the needle a little bit, even though we're kind of going backwards, it would be really cool to see that. Another book that just came out is, I just started listening to it. It's the Thrawn Ascendancy, book 1, Chaos Rising, and this is from Timothy Zahn. Again, another book that was delayed, blah, blah, blah. And so now it dropped 9/1 yesterday of this recording. I just started listening to it. My boy Mark Thompson is killing it again on, if you get, an audiobook, it's fantastic. I would highly recommend it. Timothy Zahn, one of my favorite authors. My only concern with this new Thrawn series is that, are we milking something, So I just hope it is good. So far, I really enjoyed it. And then finally, last bit of news before we wrap this up. Mandalorian Season 2, October 30th. So this dropped 9/2, the day of this recording. So last couple of weeks, about 2 weeks ago, we are supposed to get a trailer. It was supposed to be during the NBA Finals. Nothing happened. And then everyone's like, oh, my sources were bad, whatever. I basically think you can go on Twitter right now and say the trailer's coming and whatever. But this is the first true update that we got from Star Wars, and it is officially October 30th. So that falls into, if you're not familiar, I believe last year it debuted like a Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that, and then that Friday it dropped episode 2, and then it was every Friday except one for Thanksgiving or something like that, which dropped a Wednesday. So I love the Friday schedule. I think it's great. I can't wait to cover that again. Super excited. I don't know if we need a trailer. I don't care. It's going to be, either way, it's going to be great. There's been some rumblings on that, Mando, there's doing reshoots and it's in trouble and yada, yada, yada. I don't know. To me, that's a bunch of, I don't know. It's hard to say what is the truth now these days, but all I know is that I have great faith in Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. If you watch any of the gallery on Disney Plus, I would highly recommend it. There's a love and care here, and I really feel like we're going to see that play out in season 2. I've joked on WSTR that it's going to be Yoda and Friends, because everyone that's been rumored to be on there, it's going to be crazy. I really do feel like we should get a trailer. It'd be fun. What's really baking my noodle is what are they not showing that's going to blow our mind? And I think, to me, one of the coolest things has been the Baby Yoda reveal. So oh my gosh, it was awesome. So yeah, first official news in a while from Lucasfilm, Star Wars, about Mandalorian season 2. Love it. I feel like we would have got a trailer at Celebration, so I'm assuming that something will drop pretty soon. They drop the date, get a little buzz, so maybe Friday we'll get something, or possibility, something next week. Again, I can throw that out there. Who knows? But yeah, October 30th, Mandalorian season 2. So there you go. Lots of news. So I figured it'd be good to kind of catch up these last days of summer. I can't wait for fall. I know that sounds crazy, but big football guy. Can't wait for football to happen. We just had our draft last week, and so I'm on the commission. Been doing it for 8 years. So I would say fantasy football, the easiest way to explain it to no one that does it is it's like Dungeons and Dragons, but for non-nerds, or maybe we're nerds, but we're football nerds. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I really enjoy it. We have a great group of guys, and so I do write-ups. We have we have 2 trophies. We have the Ditka that's been signed by Mike Ditka, coach of the Bears that won the Super Bowl. If you're not familiar, it's great. Is my name on the trophy? No. But we also have the Favre, which is the toilet, and I don't have my name on that either. So, we take it pretty seriously, but we have fun at the same time. So, had the draft last week. Super excited for this season start. So, looking forward to the fall. So I think that's going to be a wrap. So once again, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses, thanks again for listening to another official episode 34 of Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. You can check us out on the socials, Big T, Little T podcast on Instagrams, Instagrams, I guess. BLILT podcast on Twitter, and then on Twitch, it's twitch.tv//Big T, Little T. We want to hear from you. We got some stickers, so you can email us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. Comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcasts, and we will, if you drop us a question or give us a rating, we can throw you a sticker your way. We're going to do a special giveaway when we hit 750, so get us to 750. I got some pins that I need to get rid of, so get us to 750. So tell your friends, hey man, this is a cool podcast. Check it out. And hopefully I'll have my little buddy back soon, and we will be rocking and rolling for season 2 of Mandalorian. Next week, we are going to pick up more Resistance. I just felt like there was so much news, wanted to kind of dive through it. So now remember, truly wonderful the mind of a child is. That was a bad Yoda impression, but you get the gist. It's the deal. It's why we do this. I love hearing perspectives of kids, and I love hearing Trent talking about Star Wars. So maybe I should try that again. No, maybe I won't. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. As we always end this, may the Force be with you always. Bye.